Hi, I'm Corey, and welcome back to Diary of a Blonde Mom. It's been a couple weeks since I've last posted anything. We've had a lot going on. We had a very fun Girl Scout trip that I had completely forgotten about when I was making our March goals. So, our March goals were somewhat affected by a Girl Scout trip over Easter break, some medical appointments, just routine specialty appointments for my oldest, and my oldest two they were born at the beginning of April, so we have had lots and lots of birthday celebrations leading up to this. The Girl Scout trip was so much fun, and I have found so much value in the things that they were able to do together. The biggest thing was a couple of scavenger hunts that the girls participated in, one in like Old Town San Diego, that they were learning a lot of historical facts. And then there was another one in on Coronado Island. And the one on Coronado Island, they had to look at a map and find streets. You know what, now thinking about it, the one in Old Town San Diego, the girls also had a map and they had to pinpoint exactly where to go and follow around to the different buildings. So those are kind of life skills you have going on there, getting from point A to point B and sifting through some information to find a specific fact or specific information that you're looking for. So last month for our March goals, I did mention that we were going to complete our language arts and math curriculum. As I just mentioned, I had kind of forgotten that we had the big Girl Scout trip that took 4 solid days. We had many appointments, and with all the birthday celebrations, we have been, our schedule has been a little off. And so I'm really grateful for the flexibility and that fact that we can be together as a family and still be able to accomplish our schoolwork. So I believe last month we had about 20-ish lessons left, and we also, keeping in mind, we don't really truly do a 5-day school week all the time. We do participate in a Monday co-op when we're able to, so that brings it down to like a 4-day school week. And so moving forward for April, our school goal is going to be, I have my paper right here, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking right at my little notes. For school, we're going to be completing language arts and math for my second and fifth grader and fifth grader. And we're going to continue geography, history, and science throughout summer as well. I might even go ahead, I likely will, start the girls on their schoolwork for next year. Meaning my second grader will start working on her third grade curriculum. My fifth grader will start working on her sixth grade curriculum. And it's not that I am trying to push it on them or anything. It's just the fact that we can move at our own pace. And I have found such amazing, I guess, beauty in homeschool, being that I don't have to wait for 20, 25, 30 other students to be where we are and ready to move on. I'm looking at my kids as individuals, and if they're ready to move on, I'm going to continue to educate them, and we're going to continue to progress forward. I'm not cornered into a specific school year, so that we can go ahead and complete it as my children are ready. If I'm noticing that they're struggling with something, then I'm going to take a step back, maybe take a little bit of a break, a different approach. We don't work on language arts and math year round because I feel like my kids need a little bit of a break from the main subjects, the more dense subjects, I guess I should say. And so that's why we do take somewhat of a break for language arts and math, but being that it's mid-April right now, they will be absolutely fine to get a little head start on their next year's curriculum. I also recall that in my March goal video, I mentioned that for science, I was going to work on the critical thinking portion. Also because the 7th and 8th grade Good and Beautiful student journals for science have like an article that you read and like a critical thinking portion that goes along with it. And sometimes there's more of some sort of activity, a written activity or what have you. And I've been doing that, not having my kids do it independently because they're not there yet, but we're scaffolding that whole critical thinking portion. And what I mean by that is that at this point in time, it's still those skills. We're working on those skills to work up to doing it independently. So right now we're working on doing it together. I'm teaching the kids kind of the thought process going through of, well, they're asking this, how can we go look in the text and find that information? Now let's think about it. And then I realized I'm also doing a critical thinking portion in history as well. When there's conflicts between two different groups, we are definitely taking lots of time and talking through what is leading up to those conflicts on both sides. Knowing that we live in a very different world today and don't have the same circumstances necessarily as they did back in the 1800s, early 1800s. There may have been different things going on in the world and a different way of life. And those different ways of life they're having lots of fun out there. Those different ways of life can provoke conflict. And so anyways, we've just been doing a lot of critical thinking and having those deeper conversations with history as well as science. So we'll continue with that for this month. And then I have a few personal goals here. I was doing a lot of high intensity workouts for years, and I have had some health issues that came up. So I haven't really been doing anything the last couple of months, to be completely honest. But I realized I need to get back into some sort of routine, and I want to find a Pilates workout that I just absolutely enjoy doing. So if you have any recommendations, I found a couple online. I'm just not 100% into them, I guess. If you have any recommendations for Pilates workouts or something that is very low intensity, please leave a comment. I'm really interested in finding. Okay, you can feed the fish breakfast. Thank you. The girls won, I guess I should say, goldfish at an Easter egg hunt at one of our local churches. And so they played a game and won goldfish. So now we have 3 goldfish. Anyways, back to April goals. I don't know if I had mentioned it for my March goals, but I have been working on curriculum for... What?
No, I got nothing there.
I think you did. I'll double check it here in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
It's up top.
Okay, you're good. Go close up the container and go wash your hands, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm working on curriculum for ancient civilizations, poetry, and for a book, it's about kid scientists. And by kid scientists, I mean scientists, well-known scientists, when they were kids. So it's about their childhood, and it's been really interesting. So I'm working on creating those curriculums just because I want to. And also for another personal goal, to continue to read daily. I did recently read Kristen Hanna's The Women, and that was amazing. I have loved her books. The Nightingale is one of my all-time favorites, and The Women is placed in Vietnam. If you love historical fiction, I definitely recommend it. And the last book I just finished, and of course I can't remember the exact name of it, it's that prequel to the Hunger Games. I just finished it, I think 2 days ago. That has to be the quickest I have read a book in a very long time. The last, I want to say 300 pages, I did not want to set it down. And that is an absolutely long time to not want to set a book down. But it was good. And now I am tempted to read the Hunger Games series all over again. Who else has read that? Has anyone else? I was having a conversation with my husband, and I'm kind of hoping that they decide to come out with a movie for that one just because I'd be interested in watching it. For a financial goal, so going back to books, I have a habit of purchasing a lot of books, books for myself to read, books for my kids, books for our homeschool. I might as well get a shirt that says homeschool librarian on it at this point in time. Anyways, so after coming home with more books, my husband surprised me with an early birthday gift. He gave me a Kindle, which is where I read that prequel to the Hunger Games book. And so if you have any other book recommendations, let me know, because I need a new book to read here soon. I figure after the busyness of this weekend, I'll dive back into reading again. So my financial goal is not to buy any books because I have the Kindle, and my husband showed me how we can hook it up to the library, and that's that. So these are my April goals. And again, if you guys have any recommendations for Pilates or low intensity workouts, I would appreciate that. And yeah, so we'll see you soon, and have a great day.